It's time now for This Week in Rock and Roll History, brought to you by Tom Tayback. Take a moment to stroll with us down memory lane to the good old days, those rock and roll gold days.
Hi, everybody. Tom Tayback here. Happy to be your tour guide going back to the days of soda shops and sock hops in the gym. Let's begin this trip back in 1954. Bill Haley and his Comets record Rock Around the Clock. Of course, when director Richard Brooks decided to use the song in the opening credits for his Glenn Ford film Blackboard Jungle, well, the rest is history. Little did Bill Haley or the rest of the boys from Booth's Corner, Pennsylvania know what was in store for them. Let's jump to 1956. While flying from Amarillo to Nashville, Elvis Presley's plane is forced to make an emergency landing in Arkansas. The incident will leave him with a permanent fear of air travel. 1957, 16-year-old Ricky Nelson sings his first released song, a cover of Fats Domino's I'm Walkin' on his parents' TV show, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. 3 days later, Elvis hits number one with All Shook Up, and it'll stay there for 8 weeks. This week in 1958, Dick Clark dedicates a full hour of American Bandstand to the memory of Chuck Willis, who died earlier in the day from peritonitis. Willis will probably be best remembered for the most successful release of CC Rider. Going to 1959, just 5 weeks after it entered the charts, Pink Shoelaces by 13-year-old Dodie Stevens tops out at number 3. 1961, at the 3rd Annual Grammy Awards, Ray Charles takes home a couple of trophies. Best Pop Single, Georgia on My Mind, and Best R&B Single, Hit the Road Jack. 1962, the Beatles' original bass player Stuart Sutcliffe dies of a brain hemorrhage. He had been included in the band simply because he had the equipment and a place to rehearse. Looking at 1963, Surfin' USA becomes the second song to chart for the Beach Boys, eventually hitting number 3. Of course, we now know that this was a complete rip-off of Chuck Berry's Sweet Little 16. Well, Chuck got the last laugh, sued, won, got writing royalties, and his name was put on all the future labels. 1965, Freddie and the Dreamers hit number 1 in the U.S. with I'm Telling You Now, and the Hollies begin their first U.S. tour in New York. It wasn't until the next year, though, that the Hollies would crack the top 10 with Bus Hop. 1966, NBC broadcast the last episode of Hullabaloo. It features Paul Anka, Leslie Gore, Peter and Gordon, and The Circle. Also, Jan Perry, younger half of Jan and Dean, was paralyzed after he ran his Corvette into a parked truck in Beverly Hills. Total physical paralysis and extensive brain damage ended a streak of hits that started in 1958 with Jenny Lee and included Baby Talk, Surf City, Sidewalk Surfer, Drag City, The Little Old Lady from Pasadena, and in a bit of irony, Dead Man's Curve. In fact, after the biographical movie Dead Man's Curve appeared on TV in 1978, Jan and Dean attempted a short-lived comeback.
If this is your kind of music, you'll love my Rock and Roll Showcase, featuring trivia and stories about the rock and roll stars along with their charted hit singles at Podomatic.com or on YouTube. Podomatic.com or YouTube. Just search Tom Tayback. That's Tayback. Rock and roll is here to stay, baby.